Gentlemen, ladies, Sandamtod here. Christmas Eve, folks. Got a little white Christmas going on. I didn't know it was gonna, well, I did know it was gonna snow a little bit. I don't know if this will hold because the temperature of the ground's been above zero. It just kind of got below zero in the last day or two. So, anyway, I have to head out and do a little bit of running around before all the stores close and stuff, so I figured I'd head out, but I thought I'd shoot the snow. Some people said they dig seeing the snow here because it might not snow where they're at. It doesn't look like much, maybe like a dusting, I guess you'd call it. I never raked my yard of leaves, so the leaves are kind of poking up through. Gentlemen, ladies, folks, Sandamtod here. Before the end of the year, decided to do a video tonight. I know you're probably anxiously awaiting my Christmas haul video. I'm not going to do that one this evening per se, because I've got a couple other things that I had on order before Christmas that aren't really related to Christmas. And then I picked up a couple of things while out and about Christmas shopping for myself. Not Christmas shopping for myself, but Christmas shopping and pick things up for myself. If that makes sense. The weather took a nosedive here in the last few days. It's gotten like super cold, and it snowed on Christmas Eve, or Eve going into Christmas Eve, a dusting, and then it snowed another little dusting, but it's been cold enough that it hasn't really melted off what there is around at the moment, which is literally nothing. I mean, the roads are perfectly fine. It's just the grass kind of looks a little speckled. But anyway, it's supposed to stay cold through the new year, and the cats are fighting in the hallway because, stop it! Because I just got home and I'm doing a video. And they hate when I show attention to anybody but them. So here we are in our normal situation. I did get some nice Christmas. I did have a nice Christmas. I went over to my sister's and saw the kids and exchanged some gifts and had a dinner, and you know, the normal fare. I do have a couple of gifts from that, and then my work gave us a bit of a bonus, so I did order a few things that are on the way, so there are Christmas related. That's another thing, is I had to fight with Amazon again. I am not renewing Amazon Prime. I figured I'd give them one more shot before the end of the year, or before my Prime membership runs out, which it runs out on the 20th of January. But I'm not happy. I mean, they packaged 3 of the items together. 2 of them were perfectly fine, looked perfectly normal. The other one, the box was destroyed and the figure was broken. So that to me says that they stuck it in the box broken. Either they didn't even look at what they stuck in there and they just tossed something in there, or they knew it was fucking broken and they just tossed it in there anyway because they're like, screw it. You know, we got to get this expedited shipping out of here. So, and that'll speak to one of these, because one of these that I'm getting ready to show you was in that box, but I don't really consider it a Christmas buy per se. But it goes with another one that I picked up when I was out and about. That's why I went ahead and paired it with this stuff. I'm going to try to do a little bit shorter video this time, not over an hour. I think the problem is I've gone from doing 3 or 4 15 to 20 minute videos in a week to now just doing an hour plus video, one video. And, you know, that's fine, but right now I pretty much just assume when I put a video up that's that long that you people are watching it in
2 or 3 sittings. You're not just marathoning the whole thing, or if you are, maybe you've got it on and you're doing something else while you're listening to it, because I know it's long, and I do that too. Sometimes if a video's over 20, 30 minutes, I'll watch it in pieces. I'll watch, 10, 15 minutes of it, and then I'll come back to it, because I go do other things or whatever, and I'll come back and finish it up or what have you. So I hope you all do that, and you're not just like, oh my god, he put out another freaking an hour, 20-minute video. What in the hell? Can't he do one that's only 20, so we can get in and get out of here? I still, like I said, I still have got ideas written down for questions and videos and things, but it just seems like one thing is kind of led into another naturally. So we've just kind of always got those on the back burner, but we've just been kind of rolling with things. And the most latest thing that I kind of rolled with was doing the GameCube games. And of course I don't know everything. I mean, I do know things. I'm starting to forget things, but I don't know everything, and certain people will let me know things that when they notice certain things in the video, like, hey, this game is actually this or that. Captain Raz pointed out to me that my my Metroid Prime, the bonus disc that's on there is not the full Echoes game. It's like a demo and some other stuff, even though it doesn't say that on the disc itself. And so I was like, well, shoot. And then I misordered that Rogue Squadron 2, because I meant to get 3, and I still have 2 copies of the second one now. But I went back online after I did that video, and after I got some feedback from some people about certain games that they thought were quality, maybe that weren't just only for, or maybe were for the GameCube, that maybe I should look into seeing if I thought they were worth it or not. A lot of times I'll check out a little bit of gameplay on YouTube. It's the best way to kind of gauge whether or not I think something's even worth picking up, So I also watched some Ikaruga gameplays of some other people playing certain levels and things, and I can't believe the way some of these people are able to play the game and not die at all. I'm on the 3rd chapter. I've made it to a few times, but I don't come anywhere close to even finishing it on the easy setting. And I watched a dude play through that 3rd level on the hard setting and not die at all. And it's jaw-dropping to me, because the game is just intensely difficult. So, anyway, before the cats tear the house down, we'll get rolling here. So anyway, I went on eBay after I did the GameCube video and started looking for a couple of those games that I didn't have. And I was able to find a copy of Metroid Prime 2 for a reasonable price, and so I went ahead and picked it up. It was actually sans the instruction book. So the game is here. It's in a nice case. I like this foil, the shiny foil artwork on it, and it is the game, and then it came with all these little inserts for like the DS Prime Hunters. It says DS, and it came with the Nintendo Power and the health precautions, and I believe I got this for $12, and I think it was $12.50 actually. And then I paid some shipping. I don't remember the shipping, but it was like $12.50. But when I got it, I bookmarked, the manuals, because I was like, well, Metroid is a game. All the Metroids are games that are quality to me, and I want a full version. And this one was missing the instructions, and I jumped on it because it was fairly cheap. And I was like, maybe I can get an instruction book. Well, a couple instruction books came up for bid. I think I paid $5 for the instruction book, and then I don't know, like $1 or $2 for shipping. But I did get an instruction book for it, and it's complete, and it's actually in really, really nice shape for an instruction book. I don't know if I gotta hold this shit like way up there. I might be crouching out of frame again. But, and so, actually the instruction book I had put in here, but I got a complete copy of Metroid Prime 2 now, so I do have Metroid Prime 1 and 2, and I actually have Metroid Prime 3 on the Wii. I don't know, I don't know if they'll be able to entice me to buy a Switch or a Wii U with any future Metroid releases. Handhelds, I really don't care. I mean, I bought Metroid Fusion and Metroid Zero Mission for the Game Boy Advanced, but I have a Game Boy Advance player on the GameCube, so I can play it as like on a normal size screen or an emulator. So I like those, and I do own those, but like a DS or handheld, I've just never been much of a handheld guy. It might go back to the fact that I asked for a Game Boy for Christmas when I was a kid, and I never got one. So I never actually had a handheld system until I bought my Game Boy Advance that I bought, and it was an auction on eBay, and I think I overpaid for it because I got in a bidding war with a guy on it, and I really didn't even want it that bad, but I knew I wanted Metroid Fusion and Zero Mission. So I was like, well, it'd be nice to have a Game Boy Advance to play on the go, you know. So anyway, and then I have some other Game Boys now, and I have a Game Gear. I never bought a PSP or any of those. I don't have an Atari Lynx. Don't want one. I do have a Game Gear, but I think it's got a short in the speaker. I think I might have one, or I might have two of them, and I think neither one of them work right. But I bought a bunch of games at one time because they were like 99 cents at vintage stock, and I bought every game that they had in the box that was 99 cents just because they were 99 cents. I mean, I don't know how good they were. But I think I got like 10 or 12 games for it for like, you know, do the math. So anyway, the next two games came together. One of them I wasn't like really seeking out, but the one I was seeking out was the Rebel Strike, the Rogue Squadron 3. And this person had put up an ad. It said, you know, Rebel Strike, and it was $12. It was $12, but it didn't have the instructions. And I was like, well, the thing that was odd about it is the artwork that he had posted had two games shown, two boxes, and then two CDs, and neither one of them had the directions, but it only said Rebel Strike in the name of the in the name of the auction or whatever, the posting, listing. And so I contacted the guy. I'm like, is this for both the games in the picture or just Rebel Strike? Because if it was just Rebel Strike, I was like, $12, I could try to get a copy, you know, pay a little more and get a complete copy, because I really don't, you know, I really don't care that much, but at the same time, I do. I bookmarked the instruction book, and I've seen one for $5 or $6, but they want like $3 shipping, so it'd be like $8 to get an instruction book. But anyway, the guy writes me back, or lady, I don't know, and says, no, it's for both games. And I was like, well, $6 a game. It was free shipping, $6 a game, and one of them was the Rebel Strike. I'm like, I'll go ahead and get it, even though they don't have the instructions. So I might go ahead and try to pick up a manual for it. Even if I do pay $8, that means I would be paying $14 for the full version, which, you know, I would have been willing to pay $14 for the full version. But in this case, I will have paid $14, but I actually got another game as well. But here's Rebel Strike, Rogue Squadron 3. I forget who I saw, because I didn't even know they had made Rogue Squadron 2 or 3. And somebody picked up some games, and they had this game, and I remember going, wow, because I didn't know they had even made any more Rogue Squadron games. I knew they had made one called, like, Battle for Naboo or something on the N64, which is similar in style to the Rogue Squadron game. I think I have it bookmarked as well, but I've never really been interested in buying it because I'm not a huge collector of the N64. But when I found out they had these other Rogue Squadron games, I bought 2, which for some reason, this one was the one that was stuck in my head, and probably from whoever's video I saw that picked it up. But it's missing the directions. It is the disc, though, in the original GameCube case. Sometimes you get these games and they're not in a GameCube case, so just in a standard, DVD case or something. I don't like that. I like the original cases. And then the other game that I also picked up with it is a Star Wars game. I've never been super into these games, but I do own a few of them. And that is the Lego games. But this is Lego Star Wars 2, the original trilogy. The case art on this looks a little more worn than the other game. But it's not complete, but it is a game, and it's got the original GameCube case and the original cover art and stuff. I have both of these games, I think, on my Xbox, both of the Star Wars Lego games, and I have Lego Batman on my 360. And I think I've got a Lego Lord of the Rings on the Wii. But, like I said, I usually just picked them up because they were cheap. I think at the time I was trying to fill out an Xbox library, and they were, kind of clearancing out stuff at GameStop at that time, so I bought them because they were probably cheap. So, anyway, these 3 games were kind of in the wings before Christmas happened. So these really aren't related to Christmas. I didn't buy them with Christmas bonus money or anything. And I'm happy to have the complete Metroid Prime 2 now that I bought the directions, and they're actually a nice copy of the directions. Even though I've never played these games, I know that sounds weird, but it's just I don't know. There's just something about the collecting aspect of it and the media and stuff. It's almost just as gratifying to me as playing the game. I've been stuck playing XCOM Enemy Within for months. I mean, like 2 months I've been playing this game, and I like it because I can sit down and I can run a mission or two, and it will take me about an hour, and then, sometimes I'll fuck up, but I'll have saved it right at the beginning, so I have to start the mission over because I lost one of my good guys or whatever. I'm sorry, I'm cheap like that. I don't like, oh, too bad, so sad, you lost your dude, you're fucked. I don't leave the autosave on. I just save it at the beginning of each mission before I run it. So, anyway, I've been playing that game, and what happened was I had gotten pretty far into it. For some reason, I can never keep all the council members on the XCOM council happy. I always lose a couple. And the first time I was playing Enemy Within through, I lost like 3. I lost Australia, Brazil, and like Egypt or something. I lost like 3 different ones from 3 different continents, which sucked. But I was copying my stuff over to a flash drive. Well, what happened was I had unplugged my 360 at one point. Well, the clock reset. And when that happened, I guess I had saved a couple of game files with a new timestamp on them. And for some reason, when I was copying stuff from the flash drive, I don't know, for some reason it replaced my good files with some old shit files I had on the flash drive instead of just putting them on there as well. And so I had to basically start over from the beginning, which sucked because I was almost to the end. And so I'm battling back. This time, so far, I've only lost 2 countries. Nigeria and I believe Argentina. So, yeah, it's from 2 different ones. I'd almost rather lose out a whole friggin' continent than lose, one part of each one, because it takes away from your bonuses and things. I don't know if you guys have ever played it. You got to kind of keep your command center going and upgrade your weapons and technology and research, but also run the missions and keep the aliens at bay and keep the world at bay. So it kind of reminds me of a couple of different, kind of like of a Numbuga's Ambition, where you're trying to keep, take control of a map and keep control of it, or Dune on the Sega CD. It kind of reminds me of that as far as like that aspect of it. And keeping your command center and stuff is kind of like on Numbuga's Ambition, where you have to keep your peasants happy and allot rice to your troops and to your peasants, and taxes, and it's kind of all that shit in a different package. And I'm horrible at Numbuga's Ambition, but I like XCOM. And maybe it's because it's sci-fi or aliens or what have you, but I've been stuck playing it for a little while. So anyway, let's keep this rolling. I got a couple more little things here. I'm trying to make sure we're still recording. Yes, I'll constantly check that because I can never tell. But anyway, when I was out Christmas shopping, I went to Toys R Us, which was a madhouse. A madhouse! But when I was there, I was looking through their pop guys, and I had not forgotten, but I didn't know when they were getting released, that they were doing some figures for a Disney franchise that I really love. And I saw this one there, so I couldn't pass it up. And then they had a Pop Games figure that was a Toys R Us exclusive, that when I saw it, I was like, oh, I got to get that one. So I bought 2 of these, and then the brother figure to the one from the movie franchise I ordered off the internet, or ordered off Amazon, and luckily it arrived undamaged. And actually, I have a little bit of a story with that one, but the movie franchise is Tron, and this is Tron. He glows in the dark. They also released Sark, which is the main bad guy, in a glow-in-the-dark form. And so I looked through a lot of them at the Toys R Us, and they did not have Sark. So I was like, well, I'll see how much he is online, So, anyway, while I was digging through those, so you can probably guess what one of the 2 of these is, sort of. But while I was digging through those, I found this pop for this character, this game character, that most of us know and love, or at least know. And this one's a Toys R Us exclusive. That's why I went ahead and got it. They had the regular one there as well, but it is a pop for Crash Bandicoot, and it's the Crash Bandicoot with the jetpack, which is a Toys R Us exclusive one. He's got on the goggles and the jetpack. On the back, they have the other ones. There's a regular one, and then one where he's wearing a biker jacket and giving a thumbs up. I don't know. That one's probably an exclusive for like Target or Hot Topic or something. And then there's a Dr. Neo Cortex, which is also on there. I didn't see I saw the regular Crash Bandicoot and this one at Toys R Us, and this was the only one of these that I saw at Toys R Us, so I went ahead and got it. Even though the paint job on the goggles looks like it could have been done a little better, but it's not too bad. If it was too bad, I wouldn't have bought it. I'm not gonna waste money on something, you know. And then the final one I ordered with another two. So this one's sort of Christmas because I did order it with two other things that I bought with Christmas money. So this one might be a Christmas pickup, but we're gonna put it with this one because it goes with that. And that is the Sark figure. But the thing is when I checked on Amazon, the Sark figure was going for like $5 or $6. I mean, the pops usually run like 10 to 12, but they had it as an add-on item. Like if you spent over $25, you would get it for whatever the add-on price was. And I was buying another piece that was around $17, and then one that was like $8.50. So it went over $25. So I ordered two things that were add-ons. One of them will be in the other video, and then this one. So I figured Sark would come, maybe damaged, but that for $4.96 is what it said it was going to cost, $5. But when I opened the box, lo and behold, the $16.95 item was in pristine shape, looked fine. The $8.50 item, the box was beat to shit, and the figure had a broken gun on it. And I got a hold of Amazon today, and they're like, we'll just send you a new one, don't send the other one back. So I'm going to try to glue the gun and give that pop to a buddy of mine that I used to work with, because he's kind of started collecting pops, and he's a gamer as well. Ben, which I've talked about him before, but I'm sure he'll appreciate it. I've already got the gun pretty much glued. I'm going to try to do a little bit of a touch-up on the gun because it's black. I might try to use a Sharpie or something and darken it up if I notice any area where it was broken. But what ended up happening is there are two other versions of Tron and Sark. They're the Chase limited edition versions, and they're like more of a metallic paint job, and they both glow in the dark as well. Well, they sent me the Chase version, which they should not have done, because this one goes for about $30 to $35, and the regular one goes for evidently $5 or $6. So I don't know why they threw this one in the box. I guarantee it wasn't because the other one was damaged, because they really don't ever give a shit. But so I got the $35 version for $5. So I am pretty happy about that, and willing to forgive Amazon's indiscretions with having to have them send me a new pop of the other one that got broke, which I'll show in the next video. So anyway, that's pretty much a couple little pickups, a few games. I was trying just to keep it short, but kind of get a little video up for y'all. Like I said, I don't know how long this is. It looks like we're still under 30 minutes, which is nice. So anyway, folks, we were right at the 30-minute mark when I said, oh, yeah, I've got a couple of minutes left, so I'm going to wrap it up. But I hope y'all have a good and safe new year, that you are responsible. If you're going to drink, have a good time and enjoy yourself, but just try to be safe. You know, that's one thing that I've always been a stickler about, and it always bugged me about my mother. She liked to drink now and again, or more than often, more than now and again. But, you know, in the last 10, 12 years of her life, she had changed a lot. But when we were younger, you know, she used to party and go out all the time and stuff. And she would drive, you know, inebriated and stuff. And it just always bothered me. And and even when I was in my 20s, I would ride in cars. I wouldn't drive if I'd been drinking, but I would ride in a car with a guy that was drunk as a skunk, because I'm like, well, I'm not driving, you know. And it was just like, over time, it kind of ate at me a little more, and then it got to where I would try to be the soberest guy so I could be the guy to drive home. And then it got to the point where I just lost the taste for drink, so to speak. And so I told my buddies, you know, call me if you need a ride and I'll come get you. And that would happen every once in a while, but a lot of times they would just think themselves invulnerable and hop behind the wheel. And my roommate Jake, he got a couple of infractions with the law because of it, a couple of DUIs, and I think he's learned his lesson now. But you know, it's just, to me, it's sad because you're jeopardizing not only yourself and think about what, you know, your family would go through if they lost you, but you're also jeopardizing other people that might be stone sober driving, and you come over the center lane and smash them head on or something. You know, it's just, I know it's a bit of a sobering thought here at the end of the video, but I want people to have a good time. I want people to, you know, have a good time and party and enjoy themselves. There's nothing wrong with that, but just do it in a safe way. Either stay where you're at, or call somebody that can take you home that is sober, or sleep it off in your car. Whatever you need to do, but just don't jeopardize your fellow man and have a good time, you know. So I don't know if I'll throw that what is it, PSA, public service announcement. I don't know if I'll throw that on there or not. But anyway, folks, thanks for sticking with, and we'll do that Christmas vid probably next, but it'll be in a few days. Like I said, I'm waiting for Amazon to send me my replacement item that got broke, and I'll show what I got actually from my sister's family and stuff like that in the next vid. And we'll try to, I was going to say keep it short, but even this one ended up being 30 plus, so what are you going to do? Anyway, thanks for coming by, and we'll talk to you in the new year.